So, Ashe, how y'all feeling, my beautifuls? You know what I'm saying? So, we want to actually tap into something different, and I'm going to start actually breaking down some movies and just giving my own perspective and how I see it and how I correlate it in my life into the regular world. You know what I'm saying? And the first movie we are talking about is Enough. If you have not seen the movie Enough, it is the movie with Jennifer Lopez, and basically she marries and falls in love with a narcissist at its finest. Okay, so before we started using narcissist like it was a vegetable and saying it and calling everybody a narcissist whenever they show just crazy man itch behavior, you know what I'm saying? This is probably one of the first narcissists I was ever introduced to. This is one of the movies that I realized what true narcissism is and the definition of how a man portrays certain traits. Right? So we're going to jump into it. And basically, the first thing I wanted to say was the first red flag for me, his name was Mitch. Mitch. Man itch. We're going to keep it PG because this is YouTube, right? So he just showed clear signs of, like, but I mean, if you don't know what a narcissist is, you would have missed them and probably fell in love. And just like most of us that fall in love with narcissists because they come in like, okay, let's just get into it, right? So basically, in the beginning, he comes off. Now, mind you, like Captain Save-A-Ho. She works in a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? She works in a restaurant. She's a waitress. She's really not getting paid a lot of money. So at the end of the day, yeah, he comes in and he's trying to make it seem like, oh, I see your worth and you're so important and these guys don't value you. Whole time, we'll get later into it, but he was a part of the whole plot. That's the thing. And that's the thing, too, that makes it even worse because he's a narcissist and he played the game so well. Like, from beginning to end. Coming in, he's like, Captain Saver, da-da-da, oh no, this guy doesn't deserve you, da-da-da, I'm gonna marry you and give you all my babies and all this extra stuff. First comes love, then comes marriage, and then here came Gracie in the baby carriage, right? So then, in that aspect of showing up like Prince Charming, and also too, what we need to realize is that a lot of narcissists will target women that have trauma. So from the beginning, the guy that adopted her, I can't remember his name, but the guy that like adopted her and he was like her play father or whatever, he basically was saying that she did not have a father figure, like, she really didn't have anybody. So that is the main way, isolation. When a man thinks that you don't have any support, you don't have any family, I'm going to come wrap you up and save you and take you, and then I'm going to treat you like shit once I'm comfortable, right? So that was another red flag I noticed. But anything, he does everything that he's supposed to do right. Makes Jennifer fall, makes Slim fall madly in love with him and this, that, and the third. And then once she's stuck and they're about 5 years into the marriage and they have a child and they're married and you know what I'm saying? Here comes the true colors, that narcissism behavior. You know what I'm saying? And also, too, the trauma that is played out for women. And I hear a lot of older women say that, like, if you have a man that pays all the bills and takes care of you and he wants to go out and cheat, let that man cheat in peace. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of analogies that we play out in this world, or signs that we don't see as negative and we see as normal, but it's actually very fucking toxic. Sorry, excuse my language. But yes, you know what I'm saying? So it was a definite switch up. And just how he treated her, how he talked to her, how he looked at her, and just, when she would call him and he's like, and he's cheating on her, and he's like, is this my little croissant? Because he was messing with someone from Paris, and she's like, no, it's your loaf of bread. Like, the simple fact of how a narcissist can suck the life of you and make you feel less than what you feel when you first meet him, you know what I'm saying? Or her, take it how it resonates, you know what I'm saying? But in this movie, it was a woman and a male, okay? So, yes, he starts turning into an abusive narcissist that's a stalker and possessive. And, I'm going to treat you like shit and you can't leave me. And if you try to leave me, I'm going to try to kill you. You know what I'm saying? So this was the stage where she had to gain her power and gain her light and realize that she had to fight back. And in the moment after she realized that she was like, in a domestic violence situation, she wasn't gonna be able to grow in this situation, especially understanding that this man that she actually was with was a whole monster and willing to hurt her if she didn't basically listen to him like she's a child. And she realizes and she gains her power. She learns how to fight. She learns how to protect herself. And To me, that is the significance of women who deal with domestic violence situations once they get out. Once they get out, once they see their power, once they see their worth, once they see that they are stronger than the situations they live in. And another situation that I talk about heavily on my channel is in a lot of domestic violence situations, someone does end up hurt in the end. Either the woman that or male that is getting abused or the abuser. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually it gets to the point where the abuser or the abused gets tired. You know what I'm saying? Or the abuser doesn't know the limits and accidentally kills. You know what I'm saying? Not even knowing or purposely. And then it's regretful after. So I feel like at the end of this movie, that was the time to show like reflection. Like for instance, when Catwoman, like it was like a death and rebirth. I feel like in a lot of movies with women in certain situations, a lot of women have death and rebirth. And I use Catwoman as an example all the time. When Catwoman first died and she was so timid and scared and nervous. And then when, you know, she died and came back, that Catwoman, she was stabbing shit. You can't tell hardly nothing. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, I feel like women getting into their dominant, don't play with me energy, that death and rebirth is something that a lot of women have to experience when they go through tumultuous situations, domestic violence situations that change them and their hearts and etc. And I feel like an example of showing the red flags that a narcissist, and I forgot this part, because the whole time their relationship was a bet. For people, if you have not watched this movie and you go watch this movie, in the beginning when the guy came in with the rose, he knew the friend, they were friends. And you know what's so crazy? The bet was who can smash. You know what I'm saying? Who can smash Slim? And then the guy came in, like I said, like trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho, because narcissists will do that. They will put you in situations and then try to save you like they did something. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he knew him. He was a part of the bet. And then, but he tricked him out. He played the bet very good as far as telling her, like, yeah, I heard that your friends was in a bet. And of course, his friend is not going to say like, oh my God, like,